surprise, maybe. Hopefully I'm not going to upset people by being here live right now without warning, but I'll tell you why I didn't leave a warning. Second, I'm trying to find my stream. Oops, I accidentally disconnected from the internet. So whatever that was, it was using my cell phone data. I'm trying to find my stream. Hello, I know that I was going to explain this in a second, but you know how technical difficulties love to take over. So, if this internet can load. Okay, the reason why I did not make a warning that I was going to go live right now is because I didn't want to try to get as many people as possible here, because there were so many people here last time that I maybe read 10% of the comments, and I felt kind of bad about it. And so I'm just seeing who shows up instead, basically. Can you hear me? Let me know that really quick. Look at all of you just showing up out of nowhere. Did you buy a new Peugeot? No, I did not. They're really rare, you know. They're French. It's amazing how you guys just showed up all of a sudden. Were you all hanging out on YouTube? Hey, good. Looks like everybody can hear me. So today, you know, if you were here for my last stream, it might get kind of dark. You see the sun is setting, and I am here in the evening, which is darker than the day. So it's gonna start getting darker. You solved who the server was. What server, Batman89, are you talking about? Nick is walking to dinner. That's exciting. What are you gonna have for dinner? Hello from South Carolina. Such a treat to see me. It's a treat to see you, Julie. Thank you, Steve, for saying I'm doing a great job. I'm glad you're here. Kenny says they are rare in the US, but not in the rest of the world. Really? So in like Europe and stuff, you'll see a Peugeot like normally? It's normal? That'd be really interesting. Where are the dogs? I know, I wish they were in here. They're actually in the room right next to me in the living room, laying on the love seat. They're deciding to sleep on the love seat tonight. But maybe they'll wander in here because I'm in here. We'll see. When's the next Columba video? Very soon, Sunny Jim. I'm really far in my progress. I'm not going to tell you when, because then you'll get disappointed because I can't estimate. But I'm just saying I'm really far. We're getting there. And it's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of things to talk about. It's not a shallow episode at all. So it's going to be fun. Batman89 says the one from that one you didn't know during the one where the publisher's wife got murdered. The publisher's wife that got murdered. How's life in the country? Very good. We had our first snowstorm last night and today, which is odd. Usually our snowstorms are in January. Batman89, I'm having a hard time thinking of what episode you're talking about. Pick a name of someone from the episode so I can identify what episode you're talking about. Yes, we got our first snowstorm. I don't know how many inches, but it's cool to get a snowstorm here and there. Hi from Saskatchewan. Hi. Would I say Dave Lang? It's about -45 You're making chili, the Colombo kind. No crackers. Never crackers or ketchup. So with beans or without beans, or doesn't it matter? Kenny says, yes, a huge car company. Millions of cars sold every year. Wow, I need to look up what the modern one looks like. Patinez says, what are your thoughts on the ABC Colombo and why is it so awful? I won't be able to tell you why it's so awful, I don't think, until I actually get to reviewing it, because I could just say, well, it's awful because such and such. But my answers aren't going to be good enough because I have not spent a lot of time on those episodes. So, where is your butler? I have no butler. I am the butler and the maid. It's me. DBK. Oh, wow. First time to see you live. I watched every one of your videos and shared with my friends. Well, thank you for sharing my videos. So another reason why I did not warn everybody that I was going to have, I think this is also, I already said this. The reason why I didn't warn everybody and say I'm going live tomorrow at this time is because I want to be able to read your comments. And I've been able to. We have 125 people here, so it's much easier than 425 people that were here last time. KJ, hello there, Shauna from Pennsylvania. Good to see you, KJ. It's always good to see you. Happy Camper Forever says, hey, watch it for days. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm so happy to catch your live stream. Quebec, you're going to be getting 40 centimeters of snow soon. Cool. Have you seen The In-Law? Alex wants to know. The In-Laws. Yes, I have it on VHS. I have seen it. Reborn Rockers Vid says, Butler's name is Roomba. I don't have a Roomba. G. Nolan, howdy. Do you have a favorite Columbo episode? Mine is Any Old Port in the Storm. If I rate it 5 Columbo cigars, it is my favorite. Where are dogs 1 and 2? Kristen wants to know. They are in the room. Jackie Brown. Boris. Come here. There. Well, here's Jackie. She came in. She's the one that is always searching for approval and is really strange, but I love her. Czar. You made it. Yes. Don't be sad that you missed the last one because it still exists. You can watch it. You're here now, so you can be happy. Gustavo, hello. Lovely to be here. Unfortunately, probably can't stay for a long time. You're very tired. Well, you better get to bed. Sleep is very important, and more important than you even think. Robert, are you still selling soap? I will be. I plan to open my shop this year. I have a goal, but I'm not going to say it because I might not make it. But this year is going to be my basic goal. Mike says it's 81 degrees in Central Florida. Nice. Are you out there planting some trees then? That's really nice weather. Predrag. I'd like to the same thing with one of 3 shows, Mannix, Heart to Heart, and the third one, which became my final choice. If I dare venture into this, I'm gonna need legal advice. I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry. Where is Columbo's car today? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe someone can tell me. Kevin says, just saw it. I'm here. Yes, here I am. Kristen asked, do I have a favorite Peter Falk movie? So far, it's Mikey and Nikki. But I haven't seen them all. Why not 10 Columbo cigars? I was trying to make it simple. And I think maybe in the progress of trying to make it simple, made it actually more complicated. Because some of them that I would rate 3 cigars, I might have actually rated it like 7 cigars if there were 10 instead of 6, you know. In a process of trying to make something simple, I made it kind of complicated. But again, if I miss your question, just ask it again. Like if some time has passed and you're like, she must have missed my question, just ask it again. Shauna, do you think Columbo or something like it could be made today? Would it be successful? Why or why not? I think something could be inspired by Columbo, but I do not think there could be a reboot or anything like that, because I think that is in the past. I think that is something we got to have and we get to have today, but we won't get to have a new version of it. I heard a sound, so I was listening. I don't think it was anything. I hope. Terry wants to know, is Last Salute to the Commodore the worst episode ever? Do you want me to answer that question? Do you want the spoiler of what I think about Last Salute to the Commodore? Jose, will you review Columbo at the Frank Sinatra roast? Will I review it? I could, I guess. I guess that would be pretty easy to review. I don't know if that's copyrighted. I might not have to review it. I could just play it. I don't know. Daniel says it's late in the UK, so you're going to miss it. I'm sorry, Daniel. There's my dogs. They showed up. I knew they'd probably show up. Michael says, it's always nice to listen to a very individual person. Your insight into each Columbo episode is unique and humorous. Keep up the good work. Cozy, do you think that Columbo could be remade successfully? Nope. Can't be. Would it be able to successfully be remade in America? Nope. Or would it have to be another country like Japan? No, I just don't think it could be remade. It's just my opinion. You know, I'd love it if you disagree. Hi from Yorkshire. That's how you say it, right? You don't say Yorkshire. Right, Kelvin? Love your videos, and I'm in awe of your dedication to naming extras in the background. How do you identify them all? If you go to imdb.com, you find many of them there. Well, Brian Stevens is feeling generous tonight. I'm writing down your name, Brian. Yes, I'm still going to do this. Yes, I know I can go back and watch my stream to go find gifts that people have given me, but why would I want to do that? The reason why I write it down is because I can't just go to like a tab in YouTube that shows me these are the people that donated to you. They don't give me that, so that's why I write it down, because I don't really want to sit there and watch my stream searching for people's names. Anyway, thank you, Brian. Brian says, my wife and I have loved Columbo as our go-to for date night when we don't know what to watch. Now, watch it for days is also a go-to. Well, thank you, Brian, and your wife. I'm so glad that you enjoy Columbo and that you also enjoy my channel. That means a lot. It really does. Good pronunciation. Thank you, Spooky. By the way, it's good to see you. I recognize you from the last time, my last stream. I recognize your name. And you're green. You have a green text because you're a member. So you kind of stand out. Illinois Southern Gospel Music fan wants to know, do you intend to review the newer Columbo episodes? Yes, I do. Illinois Southern Gospel Music fan. I wonder if you enjoy the next episode Swan Song, since they're implying that they're Southern Gospel, that Johnny Cash is a Southern Gospel singer. I should probably get to show and tell, right? Hello, Yoriyagami. I recognize you from the King of Fighters. Joe Paula. Thank you for this gift. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to send me a couple bucks. You're very kind. And it will be put to good use, I can promise you that. You want to know, can we remake Columbo with AI? Absolutely not. No. That's even worse. That's even worse than them trying to remake it. Your two dogs are quite a pair, Mark says. That is for sure. They are quite a pair. They're complete opposites of each other. It makes for some funny moments. Billy Boy says he's looking forward to By Dawn's Early Light. That's your favorite episode. That's a very good episode. Misk 240 wants to know if I've watched on YouTube Look Who Is Meeting Monk, Columbo. No, I don't know what that is, but I'd love a link or something so I can find it. Or I guess I could just look that up, right? Tim says, thanks from the UK. You're welcome, Tim Payne. The Patriot 40 just recently found Columbo a few months ago and can't get enough. Even got me writing scripts? Well, good for you. That's awesome. Maybe I could illustrate your scripts for you. The AI... Oh. The Al Show / AI Show. I remember you, and I don't think you ever... Maybe you did and I missed it, but can you tell me, is it AI or AL for Al? AI Show. Al Show. I want to say your name right. Will you please tell me if that's an I or a lowercase l? Great Bowls of Fire. I like your name. The Johnny Cash episode is amazing. It is. I really like it. I like it a lot. By the way, when I was going back to finding out that I could go back and look at the comments from the stream, somebody pointed out this is not like some sort of decorative interior design choice. It's just a sheet. But somebody said my window or my door has a shawl, and I thought that was hilarious because it was a reference to Mrs. Hayward needing a shawl. That was very funny. I wish I remember who said that. Yes, more show and tell. Yeah, okay. I need to get to it, don't I? I'm going to get to it right now. So, show and tell. I have a couple of items that were actually sent to me by fans. I'm going to show my first one, which is sent by Ed. I haven't heard much from Ed since, but he sent me my first table lighter, which means a lot to me. I did get it to work after he sent it to me. I put a new flint in it, and took it all apart and all that, but we can get a little bit of a spark. But I think it needs some fluid. Did you know that lighter fluid evaporates if you don't keep it filled up? I didn't know that. So I don't think this is actually going to light. I think all my lighter fluid has evaporated. He sent this to me last year, which was pretty cool. So, I'm sorry I can't light it for you tonight, but you got to see the flint a few times. Let's see the flint one more time. I want it to light. And along with it, he sent me a little old alarm clock, which has a little bit of trouble keeping time. It gets stuck, so maybe I need to take it apart. But the hands glow in the dark, which is pretty cool. That's some fancy technology from back then. Let's turn off the alarm so it doesn't start ringing, because it's ticking now. Happy Camper Forever says, cool lighter. Yeah, it is a cool lighter. Whoa, Creature-torium. Thank you for the gift. Let me get your name written and then I'll read what you have said. I gotta spell it right. It's unique. Laura and Alfonso here. Would you rather I wrote that instead of Creatorium in the credits? Love your work and can't wait for your comments on Try and Catch Me episode with Ruth Gordon. That is a fantastic episode. So that was my first show and tell. It was my first table lighter. Also, we will see this lighter in Swan Song. It's not, there's no attention paid to it, but it's in the episode. So Ed, if you show up, or if you see this video later, thank you for this lighter. And did you know you sent me a lighter from an episode? Thank you, Ed, for the awesome first table lighter. I want it to light, but we can't light it tonight. Robert says you have the exact same clock? That's awesome, Robert. We can keep time together. The Owl Show. I'm calling you the Owl Show until you tell me it differently. Columbo is interestingly a literary construction as a character. One part, the cop from the novel Crime and Punishment. Second part, the Father Brown mystery persona. I haven't seen Father Brown. Do you recommend it? The image is reversed. Am I reversed? Am I backwards? I am backwards, aren't I? Watch It for Days is backwards. I don't know how to fix that. So if you see me in real life, you might not recognize me because I will look completely the opposite of what I look like. Senora Cardgag. Cargage. Thank you for the gift. Let me write down your name. There's more show and tell. That wasn't the only thing. I'm just getting distracted. Because that is who I am. If this was a video, it'd be edited out. You get to see the real life me. Second gift. Oh no, I need to read what you said. I'll be so sad when you run out of Columbo episodes to review. Is there any other series you think you might give the same treatment? For example, Murder, She Wrote. Well, just so you know, it'll be quite a few years before I run out. Like, probably 4 or 5 years, I think, before I'm out of episodes because I make them so slowly. And no, I don't plan to do Murder, She Wrote. I have not decided what will be, but I've got time to figure it out. And I always take requests. The Echo Parker asks, are you a Peter Falk fan aside from? That's a great question. Yes, but I would not say that everything that I have seen him in is something that I really, really like. I'm not a default fan where he's in a movie, therefore I like the movie. If that's a good answer. I hope that's a good enough answer. Rob says I look like my voice made me sound, if that makes any sense. Well, good. I'm glad my voice matches me. Father Brown is much better. Early Father Brown is much better than the last couple seasons. That tends to happen, doesn't it? There are 69 Columbo episodes, so it's going to take a while. Yep, it's going to be a while. We're on episode 22. So it's going to be a while. Okay. Bronson movies? I don't even know what that is. Doc Bones? You'd love to hear me review some Bronson movies. Apparently I need to look up Bronson movies. Emerald Maiden? Well, thank you for deciding to give me a gift tonight. That is extremely generous on this Wednesday night. You're sending me a gift. Emerald. Wow, spelled that wrong. Sorry, I messed up. Emerald Maiden. So happy I caught you live today. Cool lighter, by the way. I agree with you. Peter Falk's other roles. Yeah, it's... I'm sorry if it gets really dark in here. I have no other way to get it lighter than what it is. So this is going to be a nice low lighting stream for you. Spooky Bed Hair says, you do requests? Will you tap dance? No, not that kind of requests. Luther says, I'm a substitute teacher and I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Should I? Well, is it snowing over there, Luther? You could say your car is stuck. Jimmy Pop says Serpentine. That was actually my favorite moment in The In-Laws. That was the moment that made me laugh the hardest. It was very funny. Julie wants to know if there's another series I like as much as Columbo. Nope. Wings of Desire, Peter Falk has a special role in that. And that's a good movie. I like that movie. I actually saw Wings of Desire before I ever saw Columbo. And you know how in that movie, the people, the passerbyers, say Columbo to him? If I remember right, they say Lieutenant Columbo, but it's in French. No, it's not French. Anyway, I didn't know who Columbo was when I saw that movie. Aylesworth says Mikey, Nikki, and Murder by Death are pretty good. Yep, I agree with your opinion on those two movies. The Tacky Pump says the snow makes it cozy. Yep, you see the snow back there? Yep. Rob Wheeler says, Columbo Goes to College. That was a good late episode. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that episode. Emerald Maiden says it's like the old soft focus they used for women in movies. Lower light flatters. That is true. Lower light flatters. You can't see all the imperfections. We all have our imperfections, don't we? German, thank you. It was German. Yes, Kenny and Tacky. I don't know if it's Tacky Pump, but that, yes, German. Yosh is here. It says, hi, Shauna. Hi, Yosh. So good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Jedediah? Well, how kind of you to take time out of your day to go through the process of whatever it is to send me a gift. Thank you. You say, my mom and I love watching your videos together. Could you say hi to Maria? She'll be really jazzed. Hello, Maria. I've been waiting to say hello to you. I'm glad we finally crossed paths. Thank you, Jedediah. Big Buddha is watching, asks, The Princess Bride? That's a good example of a good movie. Yes. And I saw that movie when I was young, and I didn't realize that was Peter Falk for a very, very long time. A very long time. I'd love for you to do a few heart-to-hearts. I've never seen that. So, Kevin, thank you for the gift. Kevin says, Peter Falk and Patrick McGoohan were always a winning pair. You can see the colors in my glasses, I see. Thanks for the live stream. You're welcome, Kevin. Thanks for being here. David Davis. What a cool name, David. So nice to hear and see you. I gift you $1.99. Well, $1.99 is a very appreciated amount of $1.99s. Thank you. NCC 1701 says, hello, I am just in. The end of my workday. This is my first time seeing you. A bit emotional here. I love what you do. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Been waiting all evening for you to show up, so thank you. Zarchasm says, are you gonna release any outtakes from when you're recording your commentary? Probably not. Unless you would enjoy that. I cut those out because they're embarrassing. So the Owl Show says, I recently wrote a review in the retro section of my film newsletter on Peter Falk and the Neil Simon parody, The Cheap Detective. It's a forgotten film, but a fun film. I have it on VHS, and it is a good film. It's also a, one second. It's also a Maltese Falcon parody. Rob Wheeler says, we all love your work, and it does seem like a lot of work. Thank you. The Prisoner was a great show, too. I haven't seen... Oh, yes, The Prisoner. I was thinking the movie. Or a movie. Peter... Okay. I had a combination of things in my mind, and they were all wrong. I have seen The Prisoner, and it is good. Barry Pethers says, hello from London. Hello. Isn't it wild that we can communicate to each other so quickly nowadays? Oh, across the ocean. Jedediah. Oh, that was so sweet of you. Mom has commented on some of your videos and answered some of your questions. One of them I think you even put in the updated one. Probably. I've got some intelligent people in the comments that helped me, and people that have lived in the era that helped me. And it's very nice when you give me some pointers on what I'm usually questioning about. William Peterson is from Southern California and says hello. Hello, I hope you're doing all right over there. It's probably warm. Sam O or Zero says, greetings from Finland. Wow, I hope you're doing okay. Good luck with the channel and even more to your life in general. Thank you, Sam. It's amazing you're in Finland and I'm saying hello to you. Yosh says, the snow is wild, huh? Yeah, kind of late, don't you think, for Iowa? We usually get this in January. Well, we got February snow. Splendid design. Have you drawn any more scenes like the ones you did with the dead projector guy? I will draw scenes if there is a deleted scene, but that I have found there is no deleted scenes in Swan Song. So there aren't any special drawings for you for that episode. Asuka Langley says, did you ever see whatever happened to Aunt Alice? It has any number of Columbo co-stars and guest stars. All it needed was Peter Falk. I have not seen it, but I want to. I've seen Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, but there's no Peter Falk. I mean, no Columbo extras in that one. Most awesome comment said, I have it on VHS, is awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the awesome comment of quoting me, I guess. Hello from Vancouver. Hello, Alexander Kramer in Vancouver. Pez Guy says, did you ever see or read the Columbo newsletter? No. It was published a few years back in the 90s, I think. It detailed every episode over its years of publication. Is there a way to get a copy of it or to read it today? Because I'd be interested in it. Jill Guthrie says, when you said hello, your dog wags their tail. I believe it. She likes to wag her tail. Well, look, I'm going to really quick. Oh, Doc Bones. Before I move on, Doc Bones 213. Thank you for the gift. You're a true detective. Have a drink on me. Thank you, Doc. I really appreciate the drink. You're very generous. Well, my next show and tell is another table lighter. This one, I have not figured out how to use it yet. I learned that this top comes off. So I think that this is the only place where lighter fluid goes, but I haven't taken the time to take it apart because you see it's got the flathead screw, which this is where the cotton would be for that you'd fill with lighter fluid, and this other little screw is where you'd put a flint in. This does not have a flint. Nothing happens. So I need to repair it. But isn't it cute? This is from Victoria. She sent me this in the mail, and I really appreciate it. So now I have a collection of table lighters, and I am proud of my collection of table lighters. I need to get them both working, so the next time I'm here, I can light them. Thank you, Victoria, for that table lighter. Yosh asks, have you seen the movie Charade? It's an old murder mystery type movie, and it's really good. I have not seen it, but I'm going to put it on my list of things to see. Thank you for the recommendation. Paul Healy asks, did Johnny Cash do any other acting? Yes, he sure did. I have one of his movies on VHS, but I haven't watched it, but I have one, and I don't know if it's good. I don't know anything about it. I just found it and got it. Michael says The In-Laws is a great folk movie, so hilarious. It is hilarious. I don't know if you want my review or not. I can give you a short review. Denominus says, I expected you to have a basset hound. Maybe one day. But nope, I got a Scottish Terrier and a Pointer. And they're both very special. Splendid wants to know if it's mother of pearl. No, it's just plastic that looks like pearl. Well, I think it's plastic. Feels like it, but maybe I just don't know what mother of pearl feels like. I should have put a flint in this because this has a wick, so that's nice. Jeff Bonato says the best mystery movie ever may be The Last of Sheila. I've never heard of that. So you're recommending to me The Last of Sheila. Thank you, Andrew, for the 5 cigars out of 5 cigars. Doc Bones says Falk was great in Anzio, World War II movie. I have that movie on VHS. Maybe I need to see it again. But my first watching of it, I wasn't super into it. But I probably need to see it again. Michael Hawley says, short reviews are always welcome. I'm incapable. Oh, you mean right here, right now? Oh, I can do that. I thought you meant video. If you hear Squeaky Toy, that's my dog. Just so you know. You probably could have figured that out. My In-Laws short review. I should see it more than once. I have only seen it one time. My review is it has some very funny scenes. It has some scenes that are not funny. And I think the ending is not good. There's my really short review. And I need to see it a second time to have a better review than that. Medion T. Says father of Pearl is Mr. Krabs. You're right about that. Yep, he loves his little Pearl. 700. Questions. Columbo's first name, Columbo's wife's name. Well, Columbo's first name is possibly Frank. Columbo's wife's name is possibly Rose. Yosh says 200 concurrent viewers is wild, Shauna. You really built an audience. Yeah, it is wild. Uh-oh, there's going to be some disturbances behind me. Jackie Brown is going to be bothering Boris, and he's trying to sleep. Oh, goodness. Do I need to kick you guys out? Thank you, Andrew, for the compliment. Is my dog bothering anybody besides my other dog? Carl says Columbo's first name is Lieutenant. That is Ace. Good thing to say. Yes. Lieutenant. Barry says there's an episode of Columbo that has a close-up of Columbo's police ID that says Frank. Yep, that is the episode Dead Weight. Is my dog bothering people with the squeaky toy? Goodness. Eric says the dogs in the background are fine. We enjoy the side plot. There's definitely a side plot to this live stream. Thank you, Emerald Maiden, for saying that you find it funny. He's going to get mad right here. He's going to get upset. He was growling there. Laura says he's not squeaking enough. Oh, she's squeaking enough. There's enough of this going on. Your guys' dogs are hearing the squeaky toy. That's funny. Rock Knight asks, is your dog's name Jackie Brown? Jackie Brown and Boris? Those are good dog names. Yep, that's their names. Boris is named after Boris Karloff and Boris Strugatsky from the Strugatsky brothers. Paul Healy asks, were you a witness to what he just did? I don't know what's next after Columbo. There's still lots of time to think about it. There's years to think about it. Could we ever do a live chat while your Columbo's playing? It would be fun to discuss it with everyone while it's on. Do you mean one of my reviews? When you say your Columbo? Or are you just referring to an episode? Boris is trying to leave this situation. And Jackie is following him. You have Fred says he's got the same squeaky snake for their dog. Well, it's supposed to be tough, and she chews a lot. And she's kind of destructive. So that's why I picked it out, and she's wrecking it. So that's cool that you got the same toy. Mark says my first chicken was named Boris. My second chicken was named Dexter. Cool. I haven't named my chickens. I call them all chicken, except for my two roosters. One rooster's name is Big Rooster, and the other rooster's name is Little Rooster. Okay, says Peter Falk trivia time. Okay, what's the trivia? Billy Boy says I've met Don Knotts and Ron Howard, but would have loved to have met Peter Falk too. Well, I haven't met anyone famous except the Weatherman from Channel 8. And I met him when I was in preschool. And that is the most famous person I've ever met. Columbo blooper video? I don't think there are any bloopers that are saved. Nothing But Media is here. Did you guys know Nothing But Media has already reviewed every single Columbo episode? If you haven't, go visit Nothing But Media. He finished those quick. He was good at it. It's good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. I wanted to tell you the reason why I haven't watched your videos is because I have not actually seen the Rockford Files, and I didn't want spoilers. People are always shocked when I say I have not seen the Rockford Files, but that's why I haven't watched them. Glan Yan wants to know, do we all like The Princess Bride? I like it. That was one of the movies that me and my friend tried to quote the whole movie when we were in elementary school. Eric asks, on the subject of dogs, have you ever seen the Columbo episode How to Dial a Murder? It's way, way ahead of your chronological review so far. I've seen every episode of Columbo except for the very, very last episode, Columbo Likes Nightlife. So I know exactly which episode you're talking about with Laurel and Hardy, the two Dobermans. Ian Madgun Manghem says, my new rescue Pomeranian can hear the squeaky toy. I've met Lady Di at school. Wow. That's an awesome memory you get to keep with you. John Snape asked, what do you think of the Rockford Files? Quincy, what other shows do you also watch? I haven't seen the Rockford Files or Quincy. I'm not against seeing them, I just haven't seen them. Other shows that I have is Star Trek the Original Series, I Love Lucy, Twin Peaks, The Office I have. I'm trying to think of what I actually own, not what I've also seen. Anyway, I am more of a movie person than I am a TV person, even though there are some really good TV shows, and there's a lot of TV shows I need to see still. I just like movies more, I guess. Barry Pethers says Rosebud. She had no response. Jackie Brown is a rescue, so if she knew that word. Rosebud. Nope, no response. So she was not owned by a murderer, thank goodness. Have you watched the third Jack Cassidy Now You See Him, which I believe is the best of the original series? Has everything, a great plot, music, excellent villain, great music. Yes, that is one of my favorite episodes. There's a spoiler for you. It's one of my favorites. I'd love it if you did the Dick Van Dyke Show. That's a great TV show. I don't own it, but that is a show that I used to watch a lot as a kid. Reginald says, hi, check the beverages in Forgotten Lady. See if you notice something. Oh, I'll have to pay attention. Lore says, I'm doing a Twin Peaks rewatch right now. That's awesome. Holy cow, Quincy is going to change your life. Well, then I better look up Quincy and watch. Is there a reason you haven't watched the last Columbo episode, just haven't gotten around to it, or do you feel that's one to avoid? No, it's more of a kind of, well, I didn't truly enjoy watching the 90s episodes, and I kind of thought I'm going to save the final episode for when I review it. So it'll kind of be special. It's special because it's the last episode, but it's going to be special because it will be my first time viewing it when I work on the review for it. No Name says, I love your Airplane and Naked Gun references. Well, those are two hilarious movies. And I also like the sequel to Naked Gun, the two other movies, even though they, in my opinion, they get slightly less funny, but they're still good movies. Richard says, we love your shows more than the actual Columbo episodes. Whoa, what a compliment. Would have been nice to have had B. Arthur as the Columbo foe. Can you imagine? I agree. That would be awesome. There are so many people who I wish could have been a Columbo villain. Can't wait for me to do Identity Crisis. I can't wait to do it either. That's a wild one, in my opinion. I get all the info from the background characters. Not all of it. Most of the info for the background characters I get from Internet Movie Database. Nothing But Media. As Matthew Rise as Welsh, message me if you need help with any pronunciations when you get to the last episode. I might need help. You know me and my pronunciation problems. I'm trying the best that I can. All I can say. I'm going to go to the next show and tell item. I have a lot running through my mind right now. The next show and tell item, a third table lighter. This is the last table lighter. This one is from my mother, and it has a really good flint. All it needs is a wick. No wick. So I really need to fix this one because the flint is so good. But my mom got this for me because she's awesome. So she got on eBay and picked this out for me. And I love it. I just need to fix it. Carl Bunker says your pronunciation is perfect. Thank you. Von Cruel says it's okay to skip comments too, including mine. I don't want to skip yours. If you said something that you really want me to respond to, you're going to have to say it again. It gets lost in the sea of comments. When you see all this text, you eventually just have to resort to going to the bottom. Because last time, I failed at trying to talk to people. And I did skim through the comments of all the ones that I missed. And there were some comments of people getting slightly frustrated because every question that they asked wasn't going to get answered for about 30 minutes because I was trying to read everybody's. So I'm doing a different method tonight, and I'm not stopping the scrolling. I'm leaving it alone. Welsh is particularly tricky for English speakers. Yeah, I believe that. We don't get taught a whole lot of variety on how to say things. How to say... Never mind. I don't know where I'm going with that. Michael Thorne says, quiz. Columbo whistles this old man as he solves crimes in many episodes, but which murderer whistled the same tune during his caper? Well, in Candidate for Crime, I don't know what caper means. I don't know all my words. But in Candidate for Crime, he whistles this old man. Steve says you have to start smoking now. No excuses. Smoking's too expensive. There's an excuse right there. What other actors would you have liked to see as killer on Columbo? We could make a huge list. I think Christopher Lee would have been awesome. Columbo would find that flint on the floor. Yeah, maybe, yes. Maybe this was a lighter that lost its flint when a murderer was trying to light his cigarette and the flint fell out. I'll have to research that episode because I don't understand how the flint came out. William M. I look forward to buying some Watch It for Days soap one day. Awesome. I actually just purchased a soap stamp where you can get custom soap stamps, and I just purchased a custom Columbo soap stamp because I intend on making Columbo themed soaps because so many of you have shown interest in getting a bar of soap. So I will be stamping the Columbo themed soaps with Columbo instead of my Nizumi Soaps logo. Dave Lang, I really enjoy the episode Murder in Malibu, but is Andrew Stevens' performance bad, so bad it's good, or actually good? He's playing a two-faced creep after all. And I have a different opinion than many. My opinion is very similar to yours, Dave, about Murder in Malibu. Because it is labeled as one of, if not the worst episode of Columbo. And I just have to disagree because it's not. I'd say it's... Oh, let me think of his name. Ed Wood. If Ed Wood had made a Columbo episode, it would be Murder in Malibu. Suds for Days. I was actually considering renaming my soap company to Soap for Days, but that already exists, so I can't do it. They're not doing anything with their company. It's a blank website, but there's a soapfordays.com already, and name's already taken. So you hear they're making a Columbo reboot? Kingsman? They are? Is this a rumor or is that true? Where did you hear that? Great Bowls of Fire. You say, here you go, wash it for days. That ran through my mind because it kind of fits, but it also is kind of funny. Because you're that name did run through my mind, but wash it for days. I don't know. It just seems like it seems kind of funny to say wash it for days, because what is it, you know? Anyway, everyone wants it to be wash it for days. Oh, I'll think about it. Wash what for days? Exactly, show game. That's why I was like, I don't know if I want to do wash it for days because yeah. What are we washing? Anyway, at least we're talking about cleanliness, right? Laura Suseto says, please think hard on that. I have. That's why I don't think I'm going to go for wash it for days. Even though I think it's really funny. I can't do it. I grew up in public school, or I went to public school, so it's hard to innocently go for wash it for days. Paul says, have you seen the Peter Falk appearance on The Tonight Show where he was promoting a new season that was about to air? It's on YouTube somewhere. Probably. He was on, there's a few talk shows with Peter Falk. Hi, James. James K. I'm glad you're here. Laura says, I'm relieved. Good. Sam O, you made me buy a season of Columbo, and I'm not regretting that. And I have a similar table lighter as you got from your mom. Have a nice rest of the week. Cool. You have a nice rest of the week too, Sam. Blue says, agreed. Wash It for Days is a troubling name. Yes. Wash It for Days. It's a funny name, but I couldn't adopt it. It crossed my mind, but I couldn't do it. I wish I could, because it would match, but I can't. Sounds like the soap is ineffective. That's true, Benway. You know, you gotta keep washing it for days. The verb for, I don't know what that means. Is pull, I don't know what that means. Oh, the verb for aper is pulling, as in pulling a caper? I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research, Bambusa. I don't know what that word means. Von Cruel says, if it needs to be washed for longer than an hour, then it just isn't going to happen. Yes. How about suds for days? That's a good one. Are you saying you guys want me to change my soap company name? You want me to change my Nezumi soaps to something related to this channel? Bubbles galore. The Positive Junk. Just discovered your channel. Been binge watching it for several days now. Awesome work. Can't wait for Swan Song. It'll be up soon. I'm still writing the script, but we're getting really far. James K, I thought it was a wristwatch review channel at first. Oh. That would be clever. James K, you became a member. Thank you. Welcome to the Columbo fan club. Let's move on to the next show and tell, shall we? Lux says, hi Shauna, do you think you're a very individual person was a flub? Do you think your very individual person was a flub? To my ears, it doesn't sound like a scripted line. It very well could be. I wonder that too. I wish there was a way to get a copy of the scripts. That would be really cool and really useful for me for what I do here. But I don't know if that's a thing. I think that would be awesome, though. Dan Ominous says, great soap name. Dagger of the Mind. Did I freeze for a second? I saw a circle spinning. Blue says, or if you want to be wild, you can quote Richard Pryor. I can't be wild. Great Bowls of Fire, Salt of Light. All right, good for you. Robert Johnson, I had never watched Columbo. I was a young kid in the 70s and a Marine in the 80s and 90s. This channel was my first exposure. Well, I'm glad you found me. Spooky Bed Hair, soap channel suggestion. There's always soap. I really like that, but is that referencing something? Blue says, what bands and musicians do you like these days? I like Kino. Rock Knight says, with watching so much Columbo, have you adopted any Columboisms? I might quote the show here and there, but I wouldn't say that I've adopted Columboisms. Bill P, do you announce anywhere that you will be doing a Q&A like this? Thanks for the channel. I did the first time. I did not announce it this time, literally, so there were less people here. Because I could not keep up with the comments. There were 400 people here for my first live, and I just could not keep up. And so I didn't announce it. I just showed up in hopes that there weren't so many people, even though I love all of my fans. I felt like I was neglecting 95% of you the whole time, and I didn't like that feeling. So, Night Owl 76, thank you for joining as a Columbo friend. I really appreciate that. That's extremely generous of you. James K says, I'm looking forward to your take on the late 80s revival episodes. I'm actually looking forward to getting to those too, but it's going to be a while. Asuka says, I wouldn't change a thing. About what? I probably already lost what we're talking about. But I'm glad. Robert Johnson says, it is my body and I can wash it as fast as I want. Good for you, Robert. No, Bamboos, I will not be making any soap of that sort. Tess says, Dagger of the Mind is also a classic Star Trek, the original series episode. Yep, it is. Very good. Bill P, among the nice touches are that you identify even the cars on the Columbo shows. Yes, I really like the old cars. And I really am disappointed when I see the new cars. The Archvile says, stick to Nozumi soaps. It's unique and very individual. Thank you. Okay, then I won't bother. Thank you for that encouragement to just leave it as is. It would take a lot to change it too, you know, because I've got the email and I've got the soap stamp and I've got the YouTube channel. And Bambusa says, all of the fans? Well, I figure the fans are the nice ones, right? The mean ones aren't my fans, right? Spooky says, no, it just sounds like there's always hope. Well, it's a clever name, and if I hadn't already named it, that's a really clever soap company name. I like it. Doc Bones says, you missed the first one? Well, that's okay, because I probably would have never seen your comment. David Davis says, looks like the scripts are available. Really? Like the actual scripts or somebody? Because I found a website where you can actually read what has already been said. Like it's not the literal script that they read off of. It is they have basically the subtitles written down on a website. And I use that sometimes because I can't understand what everybody's saying sometimes. Blue says, now that's a good dog. A beagle? Internet God says, do you have a beagle? Is that what you say is a good dog? Beagles are good dogs. I never had a beagle, but my brother had a beagle. Nothing but media. Most live streamers only respond to super chats, which is understandable, but it's really nice you're trying to interact with everyone. But don't worry, people don't expect that. Thank you, Nothing but media. I do try to interact with everybody because they're here, and I appreciate all of you, and I just want you to know it. Splendid Design says, Shauna, I like how you pointed out that Robert Culp brought his own clothes. Yep, because he and Jack Cassidy wore very similar things to what they already wore. I think the dog needs the toilet. I know she was crying at the door, but she doesn't do that when she needs to go out. She does that when she thinks she sees a cat or something outside. She's much quieter when she needs to go out, which is kind of funny. I have a bell on the door, so they know to ring the bell when they need to go out. Thank you, Danny, for that compliment. You say I have a beautiful smile. That's very nice of you. Can you make more coffee soap? The Archvile asks. This girl I've been talking to really loves coffee. Yes, I can make more coffee soap. I really like coffee. Actually, almost every soap I make is a coffee soap, but it doesn't smell like coffee. I do have some coffee fragrances, but I don't have them unpacked. They're actually in that opened box because I actually made soap today. This box full of fragrance oils. I actually made some soap today, and a lot of my soaps are made with coffee. They just don't smell like coffee. Coffee is one of the ingredients. John Urban says you should go on tour of the Midwest so we could meet you and talk Columbo. You're meeting me right now. Right, John? Blue says the dog behind you is a good dog. Yes, she's a good dog mostly. We're working on it. She is much better than she was 6 months ago when we got her, of course, right? Von Cruel, your strategy of looking near the bottom of chat is fair enough. Allows you to keep up, and everyone has some chance for you to reply or respond to their comment. Thank you. I'm trying. James K., of the episodes you've done so far, do you have a favorite villain? Apologies if it's been asked before. It's really hard for me to pick a favorite of any of them. You know what I mean? Because my favorites are my favorites for different reasons, but they're still my favorite. It's hard for me to say, this is the one. This is my favorite. It's really hard for me. Thomas Fouche says, are you planning on doing videos beyond the episode reviews? Like videos on individual actors or videos on just cars or just guns? I don't know. That's a thought, but I have to finish every single Columbo episode first. Gavin wants to know if I have a personal favorite gotcha. My favorite gotchas are the ones where the villains look particularly foolish. Like they get caught up in their extreme confidence. They're in the middle of proving how smart they are. And then Columbo makes them look absolutely foolish. Those are my favorite gotchas. So one example is Candidate for Crime. Oh, he looks so dumb. So ridiculous. And I love it. He can't even talk anymore, and he's a politician. Terry says, also, apparently some Columbo scripts are for sale on Etsy. Well, where'd they get the script? Nothing But Media. I found a script for Murder by the Book that looks like the production script. If you don't allow links on the stream, I'll put it in the comments of your last video. I think there's more there too. I don't know if I have control over whether or not you can put links in. I think that's a YouTube thing. And I think YouTube only lets you put links to other YouTube videos. But you can try and see what happens. I'll click on it. Show Game says they're all very individual. Yep, they are. Cher Snyder. Hi, Shauna. Thanks for the live streaming. Do you know if Shara Denise, is that how you say her last name, follows or knows about you and your videos, I highly doubt she follows me. And even if she knew I existed, I highly doubt she'd care. Jay says, do you enjoy the show Kolchak, the Night Stalker, starring... I am interested in it, but I have not watched it. James K. That's the one that came to mind. Candidate for crime? Is that what? There's a lot of conversations happening all at once. Bill P. Does anyone know if there have been novels written with the Columbo character? I'd love to read Columbo novels that emulate... Okay, I need to continue my show and tell because that is actually something I can show and tell. So let's move on. This gift is from this gift is from Art. And I love it. And I have drank coffee from it. But this is a scene from Death on the Hand. And it says, why don't you let me digest this material? Or he says, digest this material. And then and you see he's drinking his little cup of coffee or tea or whatever he has there in that scene. And then the other side says, with him smiling, and then we'll talk again. And I love this coffee cup. It was very creative. So that was from Art. Thank you, Art, for that gift. It makes me smile when I drink my cup of coffee. Champs asks, do all of the thumbnails show the villain? My thumbnails that I make? Yes. I always search for a moment in the episode where Columbo is looking at the villain and the villain is looking at Columbo. And I want Columbo on the left. Dominic Hazel. Looks like he's using his right hand on your camera. Yeah, because it's backwards, huh? Except he's ambidextrous. So he could be using his right hand. Show Game says, that's an amazing coffee cup. Yes, and in the letter that Art sent me, he called it a coffee culp, which was clever. Would I pronounce XAI as shy? Don't know. You have such a unique, relaxing, but plucky style, and your sense of humor emerges from your voice alone. Have you considered doing a podcast? I appreciate that. But what would I do on a podcast? What would I do that's of any interest? You know? Dave Lang, Poker Face TV series is very enjoyable, modern, Columbo-like watching. Good fun. That has been recommended to me many times, but I just haven't seen it. Terry E. Love the Robert Culp in The Greatest American Hero. Loved Robert Culp. I need to see that show. I think it's on Tubi right now, so I should go check it out. Robert Wren says, one question, how's your husband handling being married to a celebrity? Well, I am not a celebrity. When does one become a celebrity? But he is handling it fine. He's a good husband. Justin says, Shauna is the best. You, Justin, are the best. Show Game, I need a coffee cult. I don't know where Art made this because it's a custom thing. But I bet you could go on I bet there's many websites where you could make a custom coffee cup and put some sort of Robert Culp thing on there. Spooky says mods or moderators could put up links to YouTube or anything else, but you'd have to make them a mod. You do this by choosing the option by clicking the 3 dots to the right of someone's name and make them a mod. Okay. How do I decide to make somebody a mod? I'd have to really trust them, right? Adorable Deplorable says, bye-bye, Sky High IQ is one of the best episodes. I love your detailed breakdown of the episodes you've done. Thank you very much for sharing one of your favorite episodes with me. I love hearing other people's opinions. I like hearing what people's favorites and least favorite episodes are. I think that's fun. Dan Ominous asks, are you currently selling soap? No, but I am currently working on building up my inventory to sell soap. I'm going to open my soap shop this year. It's one of my goals. Barry wonders how difficult the episode Double Shock was to film with Martin Landau playing 2 parts. I wonder that too. I'm sure it's much more difficult back then than it would be today. Bambusa says, when you lie to your fans, you're a celeb. Well, then I'm not quite a celebrity because I haven't purposefully tried to lie to you. I might have said something that wasn't correct, but I said it in ignorance. And I'm still learning. I'm still traveling through this life, attempting to gain wisdom and knowledge. And I don't have it all yet. So be patient with me when I make mistakes. For a podcast, I think people listen to you just talk about your life, what you do, the world viewed through your eyes. Well, then isn't this live stream a podcast? Don't you think? Dominic says the worst villain, Dr. Mason from How to Dial a Murder, because even Columbo admits he finds him disappointing. That's a good point. Nothing But Media says, I think the way you make a mod, I think they want you to make me a mod so I can share the link. You can unmake me a mod once I've posted it if you don't want it to be permanent. Well, let's do it just so we can understand how to do it, right? Here we go. Nothing But Media. Add as moderator. Can manage block words and change chat modes in live, and also has capabilities of standard moderators, or can review and remove chat messages and hide or put users in timeout. Well, none of those say anything about links. I'll just pick it and see what happens. Don't do anything wild, Nothing But Media. Let's see what happens with you. Yeah, you have to trust them, like the chap with the other channel that you watch, Nothing But Media. Well, Nothing But Media, I don't know if it alerted you, but I made you a mod so that you can, to see if you can share links. I don't know. You'll have to teach me. How come I can't share? Oh, I should be able to share links, right? Me? Okay. He says, does this work? It's there. I'm clicking on it. Whoa. Murder by the Book by Stephen Bochco. Oh. I'm going to have to scan through this. So, did you say that you have come across more? Because here it is. Man, I wish I could get a hard copy of these. I would love that. Cool. Thank you. Nothing But Media, our friend. I'm going to download this. Thank you very much for sharing. There you go, everybody. All right, let's see if I can regather myself. The Archvile. How am I supposed to say redacted, 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 or redacted with a moderator? What? Philip says, would love to see more Star Trek connections in your videos. As a Star Trek fan, I notice them on a regular basis. Do you? Does anyone else? Yes, I do notice them. Nothing But Media says, I haven't explored in depth, but I think there are more. I think the first note about Ken Franklin being called Hal Franklin, or you like the first note. I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. Man, I wish I had this when I did my review. James K. says, I think Last Salute to the Commodore is most non-Columbo Columbo. He is high as a kite in that episode. That's all I can say. Paul says, I don't hate Last Salute. That's good. I like hearing that when people have unique individual opinions about generally disliked or liked episodes. I like hearing different opinions. Bill P. In the recent book on Columbo, it mentioned the high rejection rate of stories. I'd love to read some of the rejected stories. I am on Rumble Fan, and the unpublished stories are available. I think I know what book you're talking about, and I am kind of interested in that, but I would have to draw the whole episode for you guys if I was going to review it. Terry E. Shatner was one of my favorite villains, along with Robert Conrad. I agree. I like both of those episodes very much. You should write a book. What on earth would I write about? Basically turning my reviews into text. I actually get that comment often telling me to write a book, but I just don't know what I would do. Nothing But Media. Here's an index of around a dozen, only uploaded last year. Sadly, not all there yet, but if I find out more, I'll let you know. Thank you. Don't we have a good friend in Nothing But Media? Let me bookmark this. Thank you very much for sharing. Retired in Naples. I don't hate Commodore. I just don't like it. I think that's about where I'm at. Dang, there is the one for Now You See Him, one of my faves. Well, that's good, because I haven't done that episode yet. Von Cruel, Shatner might be kind of a villain in real life, from what I hear. I've kind of heard that, too. But I've also heard that he has a sense of humor at the same time. Susanna says Leonard Nimoy is her favorite. And it's your favorite episode. That's a fantastic episode. Shall I show you my next show and tell? Which might be a little startling. I got a little startled when I opened the gift. Oh, first I need to write down the Archvile's name. Now you're all going to be in anticipation about this startling show and tell that I'm going to show you. But the Archvile is going to make you wait. thank you for this gift. I appreciate it. Minority opinion, but I never liked Any Old Port in a Storm because Columbo never really proved murder. And it relied so heavily on the luck of weather. You are right, and I didn't really emphasize that in that review, but if you really think about it, none of it makes sense. The whole murder doesn't make sense. The whole gotcha doesn't make sense. There's so many things that are actually wrong with that episode, but it's such an entertaining episode that I kind of forget. I am very entertained by that episode, but that is totally cool that you share a different opinion, the Archvile, because I like it. I like hearing different opinions. Square Tom 5000. Is Murder in Malibu so bad it's good? I think so. That is my opinion. I don't know about really good, but it's so bad. There is so bad that it's just terrible, but the Murder in Malibu is a little bit different in that way. And that's why I think that if Ed Wood had directed a Columbo episode, Murder in Malibu would have been it. Tess says Shatner is a fool. Uh-oh. When a message gets retracted in here, are you doing that on purpose, or does YouTube think that the message is offensive? I'm just curious because I don't actually know. Oh, the Archvile, are you doing another one? Also, in Publish or Perish, I think the plot hole you spotted was based on an outline, whereas what he was dictating was the final book. Oh, you're probably right. It could be, or it could not be, but you're probably right, the Archvile. Splendid Design says Murder in Malibu was awful. Thank you for sharing, Splendid Design. It had some serious problems, I agree. Sandra says, I can't wait for you to watch A Friend Indeed. It's a fantastic episode, one of the best. Susanna says An Exercise in Fatality has the weakest gotcha to me. I was never super impressed with that gotcha either, but the episode is a blast. I get a lot of laughs from the episode. Von Cruel says the chat suddenly explodes with Shatner controversy. I haven't read a whole lot about Shatner, so if whatever the controversy is, I'm not in the loop. I don't know what it is, but you can share it if you want. James wants me to do the show Monk. I haven't watched Monk. I need to, don't I? Bambusa says YouTube picks and chooses. They monitor my comments. So does yours sometimes get deleted? I think certain words trigger something. I don't know. Tracelin or Tracklin? Samuel says, I would like to know some actors that you and persons in the chat thought would have been a good Columbo villains. There are so many. I need to just have a list here with me so that I can answer that question constantly. Blue says, when it says retracted, it means the person themselves have removed it. Oh, okay. Troy Eric Cartman from Iowa. What? Hi from Troy from Iowa. So there's Troy or Eric Cartman from Iowa. Eric Cartman's actually yeah, I'd say he is my favorite South Park character. He's the funniest anyway. Thank you. You say I make wonderful videos. I appreciate that very much. Show game, can't wait to hear what I had to say about Columbo Goes to College. Oh, do you guys want to see my next show and tell? It's going to startle you. Because it startled me. First, I gotta find out if you want to see it. You probably won't be startled because I'm talking about it now. I know you aren't a fan of Mrs. Columbo, but is Kate Mulgrew good in it? She is herself. I mean, she's as good as she is. There's nothing wrong with her. Everything's just wrong with the show. I'm not trying to be mean to her. I'm trying to be mean to the show. Nothing but media. YouTube auto does it sometimes if it spots spam or people retract their own. I haven't deleted anything. Oh, I wasn't even thinking about... I wasn't trying to check on you. Nothing but media. I just see that sometimes where a message gets deleted, and I always wonder if YouTube does that or if the person does that. Bambusa says, no, she isn't. The dialogue is not so good. Well, Suzanne Plachette's here. It's good to see ya. You're a superstar. Shauna, did you notice that Beth Chadwick and Grace Wheeler have the same fine china? It's blue, and I think made by Coalport. It shows up in another episode too, but I don't remember which one. Good eye, Suzanne Plachette. I'm very proud of you for noticing that. And no, I did not notice that. When I get there, I will pay attention to that china. Thomas B. says, what a very diplomatic statement. Who said a diplomatic statement? I agree with you, retired in Naples. Mrs. Columbo was one of the worst TV ideas ever. Terry E. Mrs. Columbo actually changed part of the way through. She wasn't even Mrs. Columbo in the later seasons, but totally a new character. Very confusing and awful. Yep. It switches from Mrs. Columbo to Kate Loves a Mystery, I think. Something cheesy. Vale Toxicus says Mary Tyler Moore or Carol Burnett would have been good villains back in the day. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you guys need to throw out names so I can agree with it. It's hard coming up on the spot with things like that. Sometimes I can't even remember an episode name on the spot because I'm on the spot, and I don't do well on the spot. James K. says, Mrs. Columbo was an awful premise for a show. Mulgrew was fine, but even she admitted, in hindsight, it was a bad idea. Kristen says, I love your drawings of the deleted scenes. The hands are the best part. Thanks for showing us what would have been there. You're welcome. Thank you for liking my little drawings. I'm glad you like the hands. Nothing but media. Chat is set to top comments, which is the best unless you have a team of mods, because there are spam bots that add links that you don't want here. Okay. I didn't know that. How do you, oh, I see. So if it's not on top chat, on top chat, am I missing people's comments, or is it just make sure that spam doesn't come through? Thomas B, have you gotten your grenade size lighter yet? No, I haven't gotten a grenade size lighter, but as I showed earlier, I do have 3 table lighters now. These are not the grenade size ones, but they're close. I'll have to see if I can. The one I really want is the one in Prescription Murder, where the flame is like this big. I want that one. Gavin F. Brown Composer. Thank you. I'm writing down your name, Gavin F. Brown, composer. And you just say thank you. Well, you're welcome. Blue says, have you seen the 70s comedy Soap? No. Do you recommend it? Von Cruel, live chat to make sure you don't miss comments. I guess I could see the difference, right? Choose the other one and see how it goes. I really don't want to miss comments. Let's see what happens. Lisa Bailey says, I made it in time. I'm so glad you're here, Lisa. I've been waiting. John Snap says, if you have a mailing address, I have no problem sending you my Rockford Files Blu-rays for you to watch and hopefully enjoy. Well, if you sent me your Blu-rays, then you wouldn't have them anymore, John. Do you have multiple copies of your Rockford File Blu-rays? Thomas B says, would still do some damage if you threw them. That's right. And in the Columbo world, it could kill somebody. Oh yeah, we're going to see my next show and tell, right? Are you still making soap, Troy? Eric Cartman from Iowa asks. Yes, I am. And eventually this year I will be selling it. So this gift in this little bag is from Greg. And when I opened the bag and I looked inside, I was almost frightened. He sent me a Shriner's ring from Requiem for a Falling Star. I hope he didn't dig up a body to get this ring, or dig up a fountain to get this ring. Actually, I think he wrote something. I think it was something funny. I can't remember. This is quite a while ago. He says, I found this item when I was putting water pipes in a yard to a fountain. So, this was somebody's Shriner ring. It says Master Mason. So that was a cool gift that he sent my way, because it was a clue. It was the one that made Nora Chandler go for a run. Anybody else here a Shriner? Anybody know a Shriner? Is anyone here a Shriner? Bill says Shriner ring, great gift. And Susanna says that's so fun. Lisa Bailey, thank you for the gift. I need to move to my next page. I'm writing too big. I write big when I'm excited. Lisa Bailey, thank you for that generous gift. 1999? That was a pretty good year, too. Lisa says, I love your work so much. Please don't ever stop. All these shows remind me of my mom. Thank you for that. You're so welcome, Lisa. And I'm not gonna stop. My plan is to finish every Columbo episode, and then I'll figure out where to go from there. Bambusa says, Shriners wear a fez and drive little cars. Yeah, they do that in parades, and I don't know why. James K. knows a Shriner. Well, we're all looking for a Shriner here. C.J. Penning says, Shriners used to put on a circus when I was a kid. I have never met, at least knowingly met, a Shriner. Maybe I have met a Shriner. Blue says, Susan Harris, mother of Sam Harris, by the way, produced Soap and wrote for it. Von Cruel, yes, at the time, Soap was off the hook for sure. So you're recommending it. I need to look up Soap. Bambusa says, thank you, Spooky. Oh, because Spooky laughed. It was funny. Clay's granddad is a 33rd degree Mason. Whoa. Thomas owns a little hat. Doc Bones has a Shriner Auditorium. Malrotian. I always apologize for pronouncing names wrong. Howdy days. Nice to put a face to the name. Amazing work you've been doing. Thank you very much. This is my face. Jack Lemmon would have been a good villain. I agree, Jill. Doc Bone says, I think I saw a circus there when I was a kid. That is a Mason ring, not a Shriner ring. But aren't they the same? Educate me, Suzanne Plachette. Von Cruel, there's never a Shriner around when you need one. That's for sure. Retired in Naples says, not a Shriner, but my dad was a Knight of Columbus. Oh, I've met someone who is a Knight of Columbus. I don't know anything about them, though. I don't know what they do or what they are. But I do know somebody who is that. What's your favorite Columbo episode? If I give it 5 cigars, it's my favorite. Thomas B., is it just Columbo you like, or all detective stuff? I like a lot of detective. I like mystery things and things like that. I haven't seen as much as you would assume that I might have seen, but when I do see things with the detectives, I enjoy it. Thomas says the 90s Columbos are the best Columbos, except for the other ones. Whoa, TR. Nice simple name here. TR. Love your work and your aura. Thank you. Thank you for this generous, huge gift that you're giving me on Wednesday evening. I really appreciate that. Taking the time out of your evening and the money out of your hard-earned wallet, the hard-earned money out of your wallet, sent to me. I promise it doesn't go to waste, and I'm very particular with how I spend money, so don't think that I wasted on rubber bands or something like that. Retired in Naples, will you ever give an episode 1 cigar? I guarantee I will. You get to guess which ones, though. Julie Dabbs asks, do you have to rewatch the episodes over and over again to search for props that are reused in different episodes, or do you just have the gift of an eagle eye? It's a combination of both, because when I'm reviewing the episodes, I do watch it at least 3 times within a few days. You'd be surprised how much you see if you watch the episode in silence. I know that's weird, but if you want to see things, watch the episode without any sound. The relaxed guy says, did you just say Knights of Colombo? Probably. James K. loves the Google Map deep dives to show locations today. Fascinating to see them. Yes, I enjoy that too. And does anybody here, because I can't find it, does anybody here know where the building is that the funeral takes place? In Swan Song, the next episode, where we have the scene with Vito Scotti. I cannot find anything about that building. what Internet Movie Database tells you is wrong. They're showing you something else. So the address that they label as the funeral home or the mortuary or whatever you would call it, they're wrong. So if anybody can give me information about that building, that would be incredible. Dan Ominous says Joyce Van Patten was really good in Old Fashioned Murder. Actually delivered a funny line while shooting her brother. Cold-blooded killing in a believable manner. Thank you for sharing your opinion on that episode. Kartik Prasad. Steve Martin. Comedian often make good dramatic actors. That's true. I agree with that. Looks like Crow T Robot also agrees about that. It's just that they get stuck in comedy roles because they're. Did I get lost? There's a spinny circle on me. Shauna, did you ever learn what a cupid is? In one episode, you called one a baby with wings. Oh. Yeah, I know what Cupid is. That would be in. I think that was in Double Shock. A baby with wings. Aren't they actually called? I can't think of what they're called. Yes, I know what Cupid is though. Gavin F. Brown, composer, says Columbo One Cigar episode is the same episode for everyone, and it's not even close. I'm not sure what you mean, Gavin. Lisa Bailey. Oh, I just noticed. Is that a dog back there sleeping? Yep, that's Jackie Brown sleeping in her bed. Bambusa says, do you ever experience deja vu? What? Cherubs, yes. TR, thank you. Jane, yes. Dominic, yes. Everyone knows the word. Spooky, cherubs, yes. Cherub. That's the word I should have used. The baby with wings. Angela Lansbury would be a good Columbo villain. Yep. Philip, yes, I agree with you. Philip McFeeters, thank you for that generous gift. You didn't leave a comment for me to read, but you sure gave me a generous gift. Is there 2 L's there? Yes. If you guys didn't notice, I have actually pretty bad eyesight. All this Columbo research. No, I've always had bad eyesight. Thank you for that gift. I really appreciate your generosity. Taking your hard-earned money. You went to work and earned 25 bucks and decided, I'm going to give it to this Columbo girl. Thank you, Philip. I really appreciate it. JT. Another nice, simple name like TR. I actually had a cousin named JT. Thank you for the gift. I really appreciate that. Bean Dude 99 says, I really enjoy your channel. Love your dog's name too. Have you ever purchased or tried to purchase an older grenade-sized lighter? No, I actually haven't. But I have my table lighters that were gifted to me. But they're not quite grenade-sized. They're close. My last show and tell isn't actually Columbo. I'm not sure if this lighter ever shows up in like a 90s Columbo or something. But the only other lighter I have besides the Borings, like a stick lighter, is I have my Zippo, which I actually can light for you because I do have lighter fluid in it. But these are in so many movies. So how could you not own a Zippo? If you like lighters and you like movies, you gotta own a Zippo. So just wanted to share that one with you. That's my last item show and tell, but I have books to show and tell too that are Columbo related. Douglas says Columbo Girl t-shirt merch. What do you mean? Like a t-shirt that says Columbo Girl? Or you want me to get some Columbo shirt merch? You have a Zippo from World War II, Bambusa? That is incredible. Keep it. Hang on to it. I like them. I don't think I can do it on camera because I get nervous, but I have my one trick that I do with it. I'm probably going to make a fool of myself, though, if I try to do it, so I won't do it. Or I might break something because that happens. Dominic Hazel says, funny how Dick Van Dyke went on to solve his own crimes and diagnose this murder. That's true. It is funny. Carol W., you often make me laugh out loud with your comments on the Columbo videos, and now I find myself looking forward to see the regular extras popping up in the background. Yeah, it's fun seeing returned extras, because you don't see them when you're just watching the episodes. You just don't pay attention to those people back there. And I decided I wanted to pay attention to them. Bambusa says, I was going to send it to you, Shauna. I had no address. Well, if you really want to, email me, watchitfordays@gmail, and I'll send you my P.O. box. And then next time I do the live, I'll be like, this is from Bambusa. So, if any of you want to send something, I don't really want to just be like, here's my P.O. box, everybody. But you're welcome to email me, watchitfordays@gmail.com, and I'll give you the P.O. box. If there's something you just really want me to have, and you want me to show it on another live, I would. I could do another show and tell, you know. Spooky says, it would be funny if you took your Zippo and just sparked up a cigar. Yes. Wouldn't that be surprising? Actually, there is one cigar in this house. But I'm not going to light it. Mina says, Dick Van Dyke was a really nasty murderer. Chilling. Yep. He was. But boy, it sounded like he was kind of a poor tortured soul. Although at the same time, he seemed like he was unfaithful to his nagging wife. Thomas says Al Pacino might have been a good villain. Al Pacino would have been a good villain. I would have liked to seen him. Von Cruel, that can become overwhelming when you get a certain level of popularity. You'll get cool stuff, but quickly have space issues. I believe that. So far, all of my gifts I can hold in two hands. I don't want to do it, though, because I don't want to drop them. Philip Cairns asked, have you or do you listen to any Columbo podcasts? No, I don't. Bambusa says, I sent the lighter to Zippo for repair, and it still doesn't light. I don't know about flints and wicks. You sent it to Zippo and it doesn't light? It should just need a new... I know how to change flints and wicks. I have a few flints because Ed, the man who sent me my very first table lighter, he sent me some spare flints, which was really thoughtful. I don't have any wicks, but I think you just have to have cotton, 100% cotton, something. Terry E. says, Columbo brings back memories of my mom for me. She always loved the show, and as a kid, I didn't get all of it, but she and I watched together, as she got older, and I'd visit her after I moved away. That is really good that you have those memories. Thank you for sharing that with me. James K. Gotta use fluid in the cotton. That's exactly right. And that fluid evaporates. Which is why I don't keep my table lighters full. It's because it all evaporates. Zippo will repair any lighter for free? Really? Yes, Orson Welles, that would have been a fantastic Columbo murder. I would have loved to seen that. Orson Welles is something else. Von Cruel says his new lighter came with spare wicks, but I don't know how to change them yet. What kind of lighter you got? Mark says, what happened to more reviews? I'm working on it, Mark, and I'm making great progress. I'm working on Swan Song right now, and the script is very long already. It's going to be a long video, so I hope you're ready for this long Swan Song video that I'm making. I have not quit, Mark. I'm working on it. I promise. You're welcome, Mark. Yes, Bamboo, so that's where the rosebud thing came from. It's from Orson Welles' Citizen Kane, which I think it's kind of funny that that episode emphasizes that, because if you haven't seen Citizen Kane, you kind of just got a big spoiler. Hello, Anton Smith. Here I am. James Kennedy says Johnny Cash was a great choice that I was initially not sure about. One of my favorite episodes. Von Cruel, my lighter is Chinese made. On the box it says lighter in script, and under that it says classic fashionable. It's actually quite nice to use. Works like a Zippo, I think. Cool. Suzanne Plachette says, I love Swan Song, and the longer your reviews are, the more I love them. Oh, good. Yes, the Orson Welles from Touch of Evil. I agree. Yes, Orson Welles could have used Rosebud as a weapon. That would be an interesting murder weapon, to use that sled. Thomas says, well, at least Johnny Cash saw the light, unlike that Zippo. Yep, he saw the light over and over again in that episode, didn't he? Well, I'm going to show you some of my Columbo-themed books, and I'll let you know what I think about them. The first one I'm going to show you is probably my most useful one, and I recommend it, and I will get information here and there from this book, particularly deleted scenes. It would be nice, like what Nothing But Media shared when he found some actual scripts of the episode, because then I would think that there are deleted scenes in those or something. But this book has a few deleted scenes. The ones that I draw pictures for come from this book. And I do recommend this book. If you really like Columbo, you probably would be entertained by this. It's mirrored, isn't it? Yes. I don't know how to fix that. How do I make my video not mirrored? Does anyone know the answer to my question? But you can read it. Hold a mirror up to me. Okay? Unfortunately, I can't read the book to you. That would be pretty cool, but it's copyrighted. That's the gold standard of behind-the-scenes books for me. Yeah, I think this is probably the better one, because the other one I have is the Columbo File, and I actually don't think this one's an older book. Not that old, but it's older than the one I just showed you. This is from, I guess it was originally written in 88 and 89. But this one, I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, it's good. I feel like it's full of some fluff, and I also feel like the writer saw the episode once and then wrote his little thing about it, because once in a while when you're reading even just his summary of the episode, there's certain things that are just incorrect. It's like certain things that are just wrong, like a name or an action or something. So if you just want a bunch of Columbo books, get this book. But I think this one's better. Let's see what people have to say before I move on. Thomas says Oscar Werner was great, but I'm biased. He's from Vienna like I am. I really like the episode, and I think he was fantastic. He was a unique individual. I liked him. He was a good murderer. Cancel out the mirror with a mirror. Yes, Von Cruel. That's what I figure. Robert wants to know if anyone from the Columbo series has ever contacted me. No, I'm not special enough or popular enough or anything like that. I'm just some girl on YouTube. ZYXXY. When is the next episode due? I look forward to them. I'm planning to finish it this month. I have made tons of progress on it. I'm really far, and my plan is to get it done, and once it's done, released from copyright before the month is over. Most awesome comment says, just read every other word of the book. There you go. That's a good suggestion. Sandra, I have the Columbo cookbook. Me too. Except the thing about this cookbook, some of these are pretty fancy. Like so fancy that like it's served on a dish like that, you know, where it's mostly plate. That kind of a dish. And because I didn't grow up with any fanciness going on. Does it have a good chili recipe? I'm pretty sure there is a chili. I haven't read this whole thing, but I'm pretty 100% almost sure there is a chili recipe in here. Does it even have a table of contents? It goes by episodes, which is pretty cool. I don't need to show you. It's mirrored, don't I? There's no reason to show you. So I'm pretty sure there's a chili recipe in here. I just haven't tried. Columbo's cookbook, it's just chili recipes. That would actually be hilarious if this was like 50. Yes, Matthew, it's not 50 different chili recipes. It should have been. I probably would have used it more. I actually haven't used it at all yet. I think this is something to get if you really like to cook and you want to make some kind of fancy pants recipes, like Ray Milan's chicken chow mein or Eddie Albert's butterfly lamb. Where are you going to get lamb in America? Somewhere fancy. Definitely not at the Hy-Vee down the road or the Aldi's. I'm looking for some chili though. Some shrimp curry, Roddy McDowell's poached pears. I don't need to show you the book, it's backwards. I need to look at what you're saying. You have to eat all of the meals with Falk. Well, then I can't eat any of them because he's not here. What you need is Columbo's wife's cookbook. I agree with that. Most awesome comment. That was a good comment. Columbo can barely cook eggs. Well, he's really proud of his omelets. Thank you, Kevin, for becoming a fan. Oh, I'm so glad you're here as one of my Columbo fans. Spooky says, will you be showing the next episode as a premiere? Yes, because people seem to really enjoy that. I'm probably going to premiere all of them from now on because people really like it. Hi, Mark Simmons from the UK. I'm so happy you're here. Meredith says, partially food, mostly plate. Yes, that's what the rich people recipes are. You go to a fancy pants restaurant and you get this big old white plate. Oscar Man says, have you ever wanted to update or change a previously rated show? Like change the rating? Is that what you mean? Because I do update them when I do the season compilation videos. Oops. Sorry. That was an alarm to close my chicken coop, but I already closed the chicken coop. Dominic says, no eggs, just milk. Was that a goof they kept in? Yep, that was a goof. I just didn't comment on it, did I? Shelly asked, did someone gift me a membership? I have a cigar now. Thank you if you did. It probably happened if you were at the last live stream because one of my super generous fans gifted 50 memberships. Terry asks, do your DVDs have deleted scenes? No, I wish. The DVDs have like 0 content. James Kennedy says, Roddy McDowell's pears sounds terrible. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make his poached pears. That doesn't sound like something I'm really going to go for. I think his pears got enough poaching in his episodes. Well, that first half didn't have any chili recipes. There's got to be one in here. Like Ray Milan's lobster salad. Where am I going to get lobster? These aren't like hometown recipes, which disappointed me. There are some Columbo scripts on eBay. From the ocean? Yeah, but I live in Iowa. I'm not going to be able to get a lobster to go build this special recipe here. So here's one I could make. Ann Baxter's Genuine Swiss Quiche. That's not too fancy. That's like a normal food. I could do Ann Baxter's quiche. Or Lawrence Harvey's chicken pie. I have chickens. I get, now that it's cold, I don't get as many eggs, but I do have 12 hens. Bambusa says, Iowa Lake, we do not have lobsters. We have crawdads. Mark says, Iowa? Question mark with a sad face. What's wrong, Mark? Meredith, I forgot the murderer's name, but they should have one guy's carrot juice and vitamin pills in there. I agree. They don't actually seem to have, I can't quite remember if these, I think these recipes are just something that the actors and actresses liked or something. Cinnamon Bun says, I love your channel and Columbo. Maybe you could take a look at the original Twilight Zone episodes. Twilight Zone would be a fun one. I like the Twilight Zone. And plus, those are really short episodes, so my videos would come out really fast, probably. Nicholas Cascone, thank you for the gift. Hope I said your name okay. And if I didn't, I hope you can forgive me. Thank you very much. Show Game says, I'm sure there's no fugu recipe in there. That's that blowfish, right? If I remember right. Chicken pie rules, Doc Bone says. Yeah, it does. Is it snowing in Iowa like it is in Wisconsin? Yeah, we had our first real snowstorm. It was late, but it came here. I don't know how many inches we got, though. It was a good amount. Splendid design. Shauna, I have an idea. Make that egg dish that Columbo did with Martin Landau on his cooking show. But while doing it, laugh strangely and in a fake manner. That was hollandaise sauce. And it was awful. And just giggle away with my blender and crack the eggs and say, you better get cracking twice, and then I could put a whole bunch of pepper in it and 1.5 cups of lemon juice into the egg yolks and blend it up, and then I'd say there's too much pepper. And that's how it would go. Dominic Hazel, what about the beef stew recipe courtesy of the homeless shelter? That should be in here, shouldn't it? I don't think, though, that it goes by the food that came in the episode. And I wish it would, along with what they have in here. Here we go. Lieutenant Columbo's Epic Omelet. And for some reason, this is listed under the double exposure section. Why? I don't know. It says 3 eggs, 1/4 cup of grated cheese, half of a medium onion, and 1/2 tablespoon of butter. That would be good. Spooky says I'd watch a Shauna cooking show. Mark says we have tons of lobsters all year round. Where are you, Mark? I'd love to know. I've eaten lobster one time in my life, and it was delicious. But lobster is a major delicacy in Iowa. Sandra wants the coffee cake they eat at the bank in Murder Under Glass. River Rye Bluegrass, Heart to Heart. I haven't seen it. I'm working on it. I'll see it one day. Bambusa, Rhode Island. Oh, Mark must have. $19.99 for a live lobster? I think I might feel bad if I cook the lobster live.